Hey everyone, welcome back to Jerry Trucks Around, where we talk about random stuff. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hopefully you like my videos. Last time we stopped. I messed up the route. Kind of had to go back, and we ended up in a little town called Pueblo, in Denver. So we're gonna head up to Fort Collins. We're not too far off now, and just trying to discover new cities, new places. Trying to. I'm really doing this to kind of expand my routes. Later on and get back into the jobs. But right now, just kind of, getting to have more explored places. I'm at 7.56, sorry, percent explored for the map so far. So yeah, like I said, we had an issue previously where I messed up with the where I was actually gonna stop to rest for a bit. So last time we were talking about UFOs, right? And I also mentioned how, watching The Mummy, watching all these alien videos when I was young, got me into kind of my foot in the paranormal stuff, right? Oh, man. Still getting used to the turns. Alright, I think that's good enough. There we go. There we go. So yeah, I've had, I think, a little bit more experiences with, oh man, hopefully it's real stuff. This is not, they're not scary stories. They're not meant to, scare you or anything. That's not the point. They're not. I don't think they're scary, right? I think they're, just weird, interesting experiences that I've had so far. And like I said, I'm just gonna call it, generic paranormal stuff. Hopefully they were, if they have a scientific explanation. I would really, really like to know what's the scientific explanation for the things I've kind of seen. So one of those things, right? I think it's one of the things that kind of stuck with me the most was, and this is an unfortunate story, but a few years ago, my wife and I moved into a new house. We purchased our new house, and it was it was what you would call a rural place. It's grown now. It's connected. There's like a Walmart and stuff now. They're placing a cinema near us. So it's definitely growing. But back in the days, right, when we first purchased the house, it was, the road was yucky, right? It was full of potholes. Construction was still taking place. And there were dirt roads, so it's been fixed so far. So one of those nights, or I guess, like I said, the roads had construction still going on, right? And it seems that this girl, I believe she was a teacher. She was driving her scooter or moped, whatever you want to call it. And it looks like she unfortunately was going at a pretty high speed, went into this ditch, right? And unfortunately lost her life. She hit it, and she had a bad fall, hit her head, lost her life. From the looks of it, from what they mentioned in the news, it was pretty instant, right? So unfortunately that happened, and it's so right away, right? I should mention that this gated community, I guess we can call it that. There's like separate, uh, like just uh, like a set of condominiums, like houses, right? Looking things, and each one has its own, you know, gates. It's like a gated community and stuff. And like I said, it was still under construction back in the days. The company, the construction company, actually, they didn't have many like road signs or anything like that. And one thing that kind of, kind of pissed me off was that right after it happened, that night, the morning after, right, like right when we got into the morning, ambulance had already, reached out and stuff. They actually started to put up road signs, right? And it's not cool because, man, I think they were kind of like an avoiding a lawsuit so they could say that the road signs were there. But anyways, where I was kind of going towards is a few nights later, right? A few nights later, wife and I are heading back to the home. Signals are really not there. Exactly, the lightning is not good. There's a few street lights, and is it a roadblock ahead? Yeah. Slow down a little bit. So we're coming back, right? It's at night, and we're heading towards the house. It's dark, and I see someone like right in the corner of my eye, and I see it in front of me. It starts in the corner of my eye on the left side, and I see like this shadowy person, kind of like running, like not crawling, I'm sorry, but crouch running, like crouching and running at the same time. Let's call it crouch run, and it looks like this shadow just kind of crouch runs from one end of the street to the other, and it was the freakiest thing I had seen so far. And it was weird, man. It was really, really weird. I have never seen that. I didn't say a peep. I just kind of froze, right? I was in the passenger side at the moment. And after we passed it, I kind of looked back. I looked back to check what it was, right? Because I couldn't make out like a real figure. I couldn't, make out the clothes. I couldn't make out the face. It was just like, man, I don't want to call it a shadow, but like just pure kind of shadowy thing, right? And all of this just happened in a few seconds, and after we passed it, I turned to my wife and I asked her, right? Did you see it? Did you see that? And she responds, yeah, I saw something, right? And it's weird, man, because I look back and there was nothing at all. There was nothing at all. I was kind of trying to put things together. I'm a rational person, right? I like science as well. I like to make logical kind of conclusions, right? To the things things like that. There was really no logical kind of thing to go on about this, right? It just happened. There was no one there, and something did cross the road, and that was kind of like my first kind of like real thing that I saw that happened to me, or happened to us, and then the second time, would probably be, I remember we stepped into, actually it was just me. I went into a pharmacy, right? Had to pick up some prescriptions, and stepped into the pharmacy. The person there was helping me out. It was a calm night as well. It was really chill, and Once again, from the corner of my eye, the left side, I see a tall, dark, shadowy thing just kind of walk or just run right towards the left side of the counter, right? I should mention. So let me try to give you a description of what the pharmacy looks like. So you step inside. It's a really small pharmacy, like a mom and pop shop ish, but pharmacy, right? Um, there's the sections, kind of divisions going on. The counter is at the far end of the pharmacy. It's just a quite, a few feet, really. It's not a big pharmacy. And the counter kind of ends, and then there's like this like little alley-ish like that takes you to only door, right? And but it's small. Like take into consideration, it's a small pharmacy. So end of the counter, left side, little hallway looking thing, short hallway. There's a door there, and it's the door leads to the bathroom, right, for them. So I catch this shadowy thing kind of walking, and it's tall, man. This time around, it's a tall shadow, right? It's a tall shadow, and I kind of catch it, like I said, from the corner of my eye, look immediately to the left side, but I also see the person that's attending me. She also looks to the left side, right? Like immediately, like we kind of locked eyes, and and I asked her, once again, kind of same thing. Like I asked her, did you see that? And she says, yeah, I saw it. Oh man, this guy. All right, cool. And she says, yeah, I saw it, right? And she kind of tells me like, yeah, but it's impossible though. Oh man, sorry guys, gotta work on my talking and turning at the same time, man. So she tells me, right, like, yeah, I did see it, but it's impossible because we don't have anything there. And we kind of both walked to the left side of the counter. Like I said, it's a small hall, like a small hallway that leads to the door that leads to the bathroom. We both walked towards there, and man, the door's blocked by these chairs, right? It's blocked by chairs. If someone would have passed by there, like across the hallway or across, the pharmacy, first of all, that pharmacy door has a ring to it. It has a bell. You open the door, you hear a bell. And, oh, gotta stop here. Another train. There it is. So, you would have heard something, right? And we both look to the right side where the hallway ends, and there's nothing. It's just nothing. It's just the door. It's just the chairs blocking the door, and that was it. The first time when I saw the shadowy, crouching, running figure, that's one thing, right? And the thing that if you experience something like that, but you experience it with another person, right? Like oh man, I don't want to call it like a collective psychosis episode, but if you experience something like that with another person, man, something funky is going on, right? Like that's when you kind of say like, oh man, what is this? What is this? We can talk about maybe like different dimensions, different planes or stuff like that. I dig that. I get it. And if it was that, like if something got caught in our dimension for a bit or whatever, or it was a genuine ghost, or it was a genuine something, whatever, man, I'd definitely like to know. You know, definitely like to know. Um, the weird thing is that, so as I'm talking, to the person that's helping me out, she's scared, right? She's like, oh, she's telling me that, yeah, it's freaky because I'm gonna be the last one here, right? I'm actually gonna be closing down the shop by myself, and but the weird thing is I didn't really feel any. I didn't get scared. I didn't feel any sort of kind of horror, right? Like I didn't feel anything weird, and that's what kind of bothers me. So looks like, by the way, guys, we made it to our destination. Looks like up ahead there's like a resting and shop as well. So I'm gonna get my truck fixed. I'm gonna take a quick um, rest here, and we'll continue our road trip somewhere else. So just to kind of finish off, right, the story here that I'm telling is that it was weird. It was definitely an experience. I didn't feel scared. I didn't feel anything. I did definitely get goosebumps, so like weird goosebumps. However, I didn't feel anything else. I don't know if it was like the shock at the moment or something like that. But if it was ghost, oh boy, because I've heard also, these shadowy figures, and they kind of, they kind of put them together with alien stuff as well, right? Like, seeing similar things and calling them like extraterrestrials, right? So, whatever it was, I hopefully, I mean, I don't want to see it again, but it'd be definitely an experience, right? So, hey guys, so we reached the destination. Looks like, I'll be fixing up some things here, fixing up the trailer, and that's it for today. Please, if you enjoy this one, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you soon for another episode of Jerry Trucks Around. See y'all.